Take a look at Bitcoin prices hitting a 6-week low after crypto trading platform Curve Finance said it was hacked. Crypto stocks following Bitcoin lower on the news. And then, of course, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong claimed that the SEC asked the company to halt trading in all assets except Bitcoin. Armstrong saying that the demand would have, quote, essentially meant the end of the crypto industry in the U.S. That is a claim that Coinbase is now walking back. Joining us now, Coin Stories podcast host and Bitcoin educator, Natalie Brunell. Natalie, what do you make of this Bitcoin versus all other assets? What is the security? What is the commodity? And why are we not clumping them together?
Hi, thanks so much for having me back. Well, I think this all highlights the confusion and chaos that the crypto industry is really struggling with. And what you can take away from this past week and the statements from Coinbase and the SEC and all the developments is that clearly there is a lot of uncertainty with regard to the future of these crypto exchanges and non-Bitcoin crypto tokens. There are disagreements between various attorneys and various judges that will stretch out into legal battles for years. But the one thing that is certain, the one thing everybody agrees on, is that Bitcoin is a well-engineered, valuable, global digital asset that has a long future ahead of it. And whether you're an institutional investor or retail investor, if you want clarity, if you want the safe haven digital asset, then the least uncertain thing in the space is Bitcoin.
But Natalie, isn't that partly predicated on folks at the SEC, Gary Gensler, actually creating a little certainty around how we legally deal with Bitcoin and other crypto assets? I feel like the confusion stems in large part from regulatory bodies like the SEC. And in fact, it seems to me like they kind of like it, because at the end of the day, the best way to get a central bank digital currency is to make sure nobody has faith in anything else. Am I overthinking this, or do you see the SEC as a bad actor right now in this space?
Look, the real question about whether something is a security is whether there is another party that can defraud you, that can print $20 billion worth of a token, borrow against it, or give it to their cronies and run away with your money. So anything that has counterparty risk is a security, and it merits disclosure. And the public has a right to know who controls these digital networks, because the public can lose all of their money. Now, the crypto industry is essentially saying, look, thanks to the internet, we created assets that can be traded 24/7, that can be self-custodied. It's more efficient. It's a global system. That's the big breakthrough, but it's too expensive to register them and to be compliant in the 20th century way. Now, the regulators are saying, well, the way you become cheaper is by cutting corners. You're not hiring the attorneys and the auditors to make the disclosures and to prevent defrauding. So that's really the impasse here. I think that impasse will drag on for years. And if you're investing in just Bitcoin, you don't have to worry which direction this legal and political battle will go forward.
Can I ask you more about this Coinbase situation? Because the CEO is basically saying that the SEC said you can trade Bitcoin, but you've got to stop trading everything else. So how are they deciding in this ecosystem what would live and die? Is it based on these principles that you just laid out? Is in some way Bitcoin proving itself to be more reliable, more transparent than, say, Ethereum? We were just showing it on the screen a second ago.
Yeah, I think that when a lot of people hear the word crypto, they think of this big ocean of currencies. They're more or less the same, like a big bunch of, fish swimming around. But the reality is Bitcoin is this giant, peaceful whale that is making its way across the ocean, that has had a massive amount of suckerfish attached to it that, drag along with it, surf across the ocean, riding its coattails. But Bitcoin is the first. Bitcoin is the most decentralized. Bitcoin has the majority of the market, and it has a huge chunk of the trading volume of these exchanges. About a third of trading volume on Coinbase is Bitcoin. And I do believe that some actors in the crypto space are well-intentioned, but the truth of the matter is there's no consensus on a compliant way forward. There is chaos and confusion and a lack of clarity. And so the lesson of the last week is nothing's going to be sorted out anytime soon. The legal process is very slow. So if you are looking for clarity and certainty, the path points to Bitcoin.
Natalie Brunell, always great to see you. And sometimes when there's chaos, there's also opportunity, and some investors are tapping into that. Thank you so much. How's